What we'll do here is change the percent to a decimal. Now remember that the number here is given as a mixed number. So what we could do first is change the mixed number to a decimal and then divide by 100 to change the percent to a decimal. So there are two steps. First, change the number to the decimal form. So you know that it's going to be 26 point something. And how do we get the rest of the decimal places? We divide 2 by the divisor or the denominator 5. So the 5 sits outside. So let's put a decimal point. 5 goes 0 times into 2. Subtract to get a 2. After the decimal point, we add a 0. We can add any number of zeros, but in this case, 5 times 4 is 20. Subtract, and we get a 0. So now 26 and 2/5 is 26 point something, and now we know it is 26.4. So what's the first thing we did? We converted the mixed number to a decimal to get 26.4. Remember, we still have the percent symbol. Now we have to change the percent to a decimal. So that is equal to 26.4 per 100. Now dividing by 100 is the same as changing or shifting the decimal point to the left by the same number of places as the number of zeros. So if there are 2 zeros, shift the decimal point to the left by 2 place values. So that would be 0.264. So initially we changed the mixed number to a decimal, and now we finally changed the percent to a decimal. So that's what we have here. Again, we have to change the percent to a decimal. The number is given as a mixed number, 55 and 1/20th. Now we first change this number to a decimal form, which is 55 point something. And how do we get that decimal portion of the number? We do a division. 1 is divided by 20. 20 is the divisor, so it sits outside. 1 sits inside. 20 goes 0 times. Subtract to get a 1. You can add any number of zeros after the decimal point. So that's 20 goes 0 times into 10. Add another 0. 20 goes 5 times into 100, leaving a remainder of 0. So 55 and the fraction 1/20th is the same as 0.5. So we have first changed the mixed number to a decimal. Percent just means divided by 100. Now we still need to change the percent to a decimal by dividing by 100. We shift the decimal point to the left by 2 place values because there are 2 zeros in the denominator. So dividing by a power of 10 is easy because we are just shifting the decimal point a certain number of places to the left. So that's 0.5505. So don't forget to divide by 100 at the end. And this completes the problem. So what have we done so far? Let's just get a quick overview of what we've done. Starting from the beginning, the first thing that we did was changed a percent to a fraction. Now let's say I have a 25%. How do I change it to a fraction? 25% by definition is 25 per 100. And we've already changed it to a fraction. The only one thing that remains is reducing it to the lowest terms. We cancel the common factors, and we have 25% written as a fraction, 1/4. So if I say 1/4 of the money in the bank account is the same as saying 25% of the money in the bank account. So percent is nothing but a fraction. The next thing we did was changed a percent to a decimal. So if we had something like 23.275%, it would be 23.275% is the same as 23.275 divided by 100. Dividing by a power of 10 is just shifting the decimal point 2 places to the left. So in the decimal form, this is what the percent looks like: 0.2375. 100% is 100 over 100, which is equal to a 1. A 200% is 200 over 100, which is equal to a 2. But anything less than 100% is written in a decimal form less than 100. So for example, if I have 20%, which is less than 100%, would be 20 over 100, which is 2 times 1 over 2 times 5, so it's a 1/5. So it's less than a 1. And the last thing we did was, again, changing a percent to a decimal, but here the number was given as a mixed number. So the first thing we did was change it to a decimal, because our goal is to change it to a decimal number. Now, what if 26 2/5% has to change to a fraction? So if it had to change to a fraction, then we would do things in a different way. We would first change this to an improper fraction. So 26 times 5 is 130 plus 2 over a 5. So 132 over a 5. Percent would be divide by 100. So this is 132 over 5 times 1 over 100. So this is equal to 132 over 500. We could have reduced it, but I just want you to see how we go about doing these problems. The exact same number, percent. If I had to change it to a decimal, I would first change the mixed number to a decimal number and then divide by 100. But if I had to change the exact same percent to a fraction, I would first change the mixed number to an improper fraction and then divide by 100 to get the fraction. All three mean the exact same thing. So if I have a 26 2/5%, that is exactly the same as 0.264, which is exactly the same as 132 over 500. There are three different ways of writing the exact same number.